What's up, guys? It's Bear, and today we have something special for you guys, and we're actually out here at Z1 Motorsports in Carlton, Georgia. We're here with Mr. Kyle himself. How's it going, Kyle?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. So what's your job title here? What do you do here?
Engineer. I do a little bit of everything.
So
design parts, program CNC machine, make prototypes, all that
So
stuff.
the jack of all trades here at Z1.
Kind of, yeah.
Gotcha. So do you know the history of Z1? That's the main question, because I'm gonna want to know a little bit about Z1. I've known y'all been here for about 20 so years.
Yeah.
How long has Z1 been in the network?
Over 20 years ago, Russel Floyd started selling used 300ZX parts from a chicken barn up in Temple, Georgia.
A chicken barn.
Yes,
Okay.
not kidding, like it's still there.
Awesome.
They moved into this building in early 2000s.
Gotcha.
Started selling OEM parts, other aftermarket parts, and then focusing on Z1 performance products. So as you can see, we've grown a lot.
So going from literally a chicken coop to what, 40,000 plus square foot? I don't even know how big this facility is, but it's massive.
There's 100 people. It's big.
It's an awesome facility.
When they moved here, it was 7 people.
Oh, 7, and now you're up to 100.
104, I think.
That is insane. So like if you didn't know, Z1 is a specialist of Z chassis, G35s. Yep. What all other vehicles do y'all work on here?
So the last couple of years, it's mainly been G35, 350Z, 370Z, G37, Q50, Q60, S chassis, and then now it's just, we're kind of growing into all Nissan. We just started Z1 Off-Road, so it's Titans, Frontiers,
Nice.
Xteras, Pathfinders, all that. It's been booming. As you can see, we got Xteras here.
The Frontiers, I saw some of the Frontiers
Yep,
in the
got
front. Speaking of that, we're gonna have to set y'all up with some floor bangers, but we're not gonna talk about too much about that. But I know that y'all been doing a lot of track stuff like Road Atlanta. I know Russell himself is a huge enthusiast too as well. And that's why I think I was so drawn, and a lot of other people are so drawn to Z1 Motorsports, is that y'all are enthusiasts.
Yep.
Y'all are not just about trying to sell components and just build a car and just make it flashy. And that's what I really love so much about y'all. You know, and other than that, I know I'd asked this earlier, where did Z1 Motorsports, the name, come from?
It was ZX Connection. Way back,
Connection?
Yeah, way back when. But that was when there was only the Z32s, the 300ZXs. They knew a new Z was coming, so they wanted a name that was more universal to the upcoming Z and #1 in the Z game.
Gotcha.
So Z1. You're right, we're enthusiasts here. You saw the parking lot. You know, you've seen all the tire marks out there. You've seen the cars. This is Russell's car. This, you know, track toy, everything. We all have modded cars, track cars, off-road vehicles. Like this is
Through and through.
Yeah,
through and through.
Enthusiasts.
We'll roll it into, since you said Russel Floyd is the owner of Z1, and this is his personal car as well. Can you give us a little rundown of what we got going on? I guess starting with the headlights.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
Since we are Morimoto Lighting, Z1 is actually one of the lead sellers for headlights and taillights of the 370Z. So they're actually rocking our Morimoto XV headlights in this car, and also the taillights inside markers too. Yep. So other than the headlights, because y'all know all about that, let's get into the guts of this thing. Let's go into the engine bay. Do you mind go ahead and pop the hood? Yeah, let's go see what this thing's all about.
So this is actually one of the first 370s in the States. Don't know if it was like first in Georgia, but basically initially just it was stock. Did time attack with its stock, and then twin turboed for years. Blew the engine, and then this was a couple years ago, like 3 years ago. We kind of had a hunch the new Z would be coming. It was way overdue. We kind of take a guess at what engine it'd be, so we did it. Mainly to start testing this engine early and see how it handled or performed in a Z.
So this is the exact Z out that's going to be in the new Z?
Very close. This is the VR30 from a Q50, Q60. The new Z has slightly different turbos, bypass valves,
Gotcha.
little tweaks like that, and a 6-speed.
Right.
But we did it 3 years ago to start testing it, pushing it. So it's a lot of fun now.
So y'all had like word of mouth 3 years before even the new Z coming out?
It was kind of a hunch. I mean, if you look at what Infiniti and Nissan normally do,
Right.
This is what it is. The engine shows up in the G or the Q, and then it goes to a Z. And they're making new Z, hopefully. And what engine is it going to get? Likely their new engine. So we did start pushing it.
Right.
And yes, so now the car lives on with the new engine.
Would you say this car pushes?
All right, close to 500.
500 to the wheels?
Yep.
Nice. So what components did y'all do at Z1 to create this?
Not a whole lot, actually.
Okay.
It basically drops in. It's, had to be wired in. Transmission has to be slightly modified for the crank position sensor. And this just has our silicone radiator hoses. Z1 motor mounts.
Right.
Basically just fits.
Gotcha.
There's not really any crazy performance upgrades on it, just downpipe exhaust, fill-off valves, and
What turbos?
stock
Stock
turbos.
Guys, boom. And y'all ask all the time, what does it take to have a race car? Literally, what's his name said earlier, just brakes. Literally just take you a stock 350Z, just get you a nice brake kit and literally take it out on the track. I would say also maybe upgrade your fluids. That'll probably be a smart thing to do too as well. And Z1 actually has all that in store for you guys.
We do.
If you have a Nissan chassis. Let's go down to the brake components then, since we're already kind of on that. What kind of wheels, tire setup that we got down here? Or do we have extended studs? Like, you know, what we got going on?
Yes, so these are the new Z1 wheels, CM23s. Just released
So
those.
y'all have your own line of wheels.
Yep, we just released them.
Okay, Z1.
Yep, so this, and then we have our prototype GTR brakes on there.
No, that when he says this is their testing car. Like, this is literally the guinea pig car for Z1.
Yeah.
So any prototype stuff goes on here. They test it out. They take it out on the track, out in the parking lot, and then see if it works. And if it doesn't, then it goes back in, right?
Yep, so those are prototypes. Extended studs, the brake duct kit is on here. I think we have prototype brake ducts up front, which those will be released shortly. The rear tires are burners.
Go right here.
Yes, those are not normally like this. Those are burners if there's anything left on them.
Gotcha.
You'll see why.
So enough about the wheels and brakes. Let's talk about the suspension.
Yeah, I can't comment on what coilovers are on it right now. We have
Top
Z1's.
secret.
Yeah, it's like I said, this is a test car. We're
Right.
testing some stuff. We have Z1 sway bars, adjustable arms, everything like that on it, the basics. Clutch type 1.5 way diff brace, diff bushings.
Got some burner tires on it right now, I see.
Yes.
Are we gonna send this thing here soon?
It has been sent already, but why not?
There we go. That's what we like to hear, especially. And speaking of the Z1 wheels again, do y'all have, what are the different variations? 17s, 18s, 19s?
17, 18, 18s, 19s. Different widths. They're sized specifically for Zs.
Nice.
Zs and Gs.
Gotcha.
So it's not like pick the offset that fits best.
Right.
We sat down to figure out exactly which offsets are needed for each model. It covers everything except sedans.
Well, I absolutely love this. In the finish too as well, with it being mono too also. Y'all did a great job with that. Well, enough of talking about this. Let's head to the very back of the car now. Look at these Morimoto tails too. I have not seen these in person yet, and I've been working with Morimoto because we haven't had a Z in studio yet. So I'm excited to see these in person and being illuminated. They look absolutely phenomenal too. But you know, enough of the Morimoto plug. Let's get back into this. We got this big old wang. This thing, what carbon component is this? Who makes this? Is this y'all's wing as well?
Nope, APR.
Oh, APR, gotcha. Good guys there, good guys over there also.
Yep.
What brackets too? Is this custom brackets or?
This I believe is custom. So the hatch is aluminum, and it'll actually
Gotcha.
the wing will push down and crack it. So you reinforce it with aluminum.
Makes sense, that makes sense then. What exhaust system?
This is Tomei from a 350. Because remember, this was one of the first 370s. They started modding early.
Right.
So I don't think there was a Tomei for it when they started modding it. So it's 350 Tomei.
It sounds so good though.
It does.
It sounds so
This
good
VR
on
engine
this car.
with a single sounds great.
Oh yeah.
So it's 3-inch downpipes, Z1, Y pipe, and Tomei.
Nice. And you know Zs are so, you can either go real bad with the Z sound and sound like a trombone, or you can get it really, really nice and it's just that deep, deep throttle. Oh, I just love the way Z's sound when you get it right.
I've done a lot of these exhaust projects recently, and we've been trying to get it right. We'll make one, take it out, test it, like, nope, change it.
Nope. So speaking of that, what is the main component that you usually have to change to make it right?
Depends on the engine. So like
Okay.
we found with the...
So say with a VQ, because that's what I'm like, I love, you know, the VQ 35s, and they're hard.
Yeah,
they're
they're
hard to get right. So that's why I'm gonna ask you this.
If you have test pipes and no resonator, it's gonna rasp.
Gotcha.
That's just how it is. High flow cats help, resonators help.
On my last Z,
Yeah.
I had to do 2 resonators
Yeah, so we actually...
to help baffle that canny sound.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's why we did the modular Y pipe, so you can put a resonator in the exhaust easily. And it makes a difference.
That makes sense. See, guys? Z1, they got the tips and tricks
Yes,
right there. So done speaking of some components on the outside, I know we have the Z1 side marker too as well with Morimoto, but I really love the concept and color that y'all actually have on the car. What made Russell stick with the white, red, and black aspect? Is it just that OEM style classic look of the Nismo?
Yeah, the car has always been white. It's never really needed to be repainted. It's just when we upgraded when we did the engine swap, we also did the new Nismo front front end. It was kind of carried over to front end, side skirts, rear bumper, which needed painted because, you know, you get the Nismo red trim.
100%.
They don't come, the trim's not painted. You have to paint it. So
Gotcha.
we did red to keep it Nismo, and the car stayed white.
It looks beautiful. Y'all have done such a great job, and I noticed that y'all have the full roll cage in here as well, aftermarket shifter, the seats.
Yep.
Because I know, like you said before, y'all actually race this car, and y'all actually put everything to the test at Z1, and that's a great thing too as well. At Morimoto, we do the exam sack thing. You know, before we actually take all the product out, we want to test everything in facility. You know, heat treatment, anything and everything that you can think of testing. I feel like y'all do the same too on y'all's realm, and it really shows. You know, so. That's awesome.
We compete with this one in time attack events and everything. So.
Awesome. Well, enough of talking about the car. I want to tour this beautiful facility that y'all have going on. I know y'all just expanded it, last year?
Yeah, I think it was June we moved in.
June?
Yeah.
And how much did y'all expand from?
This wall forward.
That wall forward.
That is the old front of the building. So everything forward of this gray wall is new.
Well, let's go check out Z1 Motorsports. And guys, if y'all guys want to check it out too as well. And Z1 Off-Road, exactly. I want to see some off-road stuff that y'all got going on. But they are also open to the public as well. So if you want to check out their facility and also pick up some parts of your own, you're more than welcome to come to Z1 and check it out for yourself.